The eyes in the walls. There was a house at the edge of the town, long abandoned, with ivy creeping up its crumbling stone walls. No one dared to go near it, not since the tragedy that had occurred 20 years ago. A family had moved in, a mother, father, and their young daughter, Lily. They seemed like any ordinary family, but soon after moving in, things began to happen. Small things at first. Scratches on the walls, doors that would open by themselves, lights flickering at odd hours. But then, it escalated. Lily, who was only 7 at the time, started speaking to someone. Her parents dismissed it as an imaginary friend, as parents often do, but Lily grew more insistent. She would sit for hours in front of the wall in her room, talking in hushed tones, her small finger pointing at the space where the plaster was cracked and worn. "She doesn't like it when you shout," Lily would say softly. "She doesn't like it when you leave." One night, the family heard a muffled sound from upstairs. It was a low, rhythmic thumping, as though someone was slowly dragging something heavy across the floor. The father, Tom, went to investigate. He found Lily standing in the middle of the hallway, eyes wide with terror, staring at the wall in front of her. "She's in the walls," Lily whispered, her voice trembling. "She's angry because you won't listen." Tom scoffed, trying to laugh it off, but there was something about the way Lily's small voice trembled that sent a chill down his spine. That night, as Tom lay in bed, he heard it. The sound of scraping from behind the walls, soft at first, like fingernails dragging across plaster. But then it grew louder, more frantic, as if something, or someone, was trying to break through. He turned to his wife, but she was already awake, staring at the ceiling, her eyes wide and unblinking. "Do you hear that?" she whispered. Tom nodded, his throat tightening. The sound was coming from the walls. It was unmistakable now, scratching, clawing, desperate. The next morning, Tom couldn't take it anymore. He grabbed a sledgehammer from the garage and, without a word, began to tear into the wall in Lily's room. His wife tried to stop him, but it was as though something had possessed him. The sound from the walls grew louder as he struck the plaster, each blow revealing more of the hollow space behind it. When the wall finally gave way, Tom froze. There, within the cavity of the wall, were eyes. Thousands of them, small, round, and glowing, faintly, embedded into the very structure of the house. They blinked in unison, watching, unblinking, never moving. But the worst part was the realization. They weren't just eyes. They were faces. Twisted, distorted faces, all frozen in silent screams. Their mouths were open, contorted in terror, but no sound came from them. The walls seemed alive, pulsing with the weight of countless souls trapped within, eyes staring back from every crack and crevice. Tom stumbled backward, his breath caught in his throat. But it wasn't until Lily's voice broke the silence that he understood. "Don't look too long," she whispered, her eyes hollow, her face unnaturally still. "They like it when you look." But it was too late. That night, the house was silent. The scraping, the whispers, they had stopped. The town assumed that the family had fled, abandoning the house in the dead of night. But no one ever saw them again. The house stood empty, untouched, its walls silently watching anyone who dared to come near. And the eyes? They're still there, watching, waiting. The brave who venture too close at night often report hearing soft whispers and scratching sounds from within the walls. Some claim they've seen the faint glow of those eyes in the darkness, but none have ever come back to tell the tale.